Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Mic check, mic check. Can I get a mic check? Can I get a mic check? Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Can I get a mic check? We making changes over here. I just need to make sure everything worked the way it's supposed to work. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? All right, we good. Shout out to y'all. What's happening? What's happening? It's a Monday. Oh man, put your seats up, man. Put your seatbelts on, y'all. If you got a drink, you definitely gonna need it for this video. I want to advise y'all. Uh, this is not for the light of heart or the faint of heart or the faint of heart. I'm gonna show y'all a video. We're gonna read it. I'm gonna read y'all an article, and I'm just gonna point out some things. Now, please note, I'm gonna give y'all another disclaimer. Anything can be picked apart. Anything can be debunked. The mic sound good. I think I got the mic tapped in finally, y'all. I think I finally got the mic tapped in. But let's see who here. Y'all know we got to do it how we do it. We building at date night, but he came through. Appreciate you. Enjoy your night. Teach in the building. The beautiful Jolie, Lady Navoa. What's good, sis? How you doing? One of the hardest working Mars on YouTube. Make sure y'all shout out Lady Navoa whenever y'all see her. The beautiful Shawa Allah. We got Cat Student in the building. MP, what the fuck? Boxing MMA. Consuelo, what's good? What's good? How you doing, sis? Teach, what's happening? What's happening? Tap, what's good, my boy? Shout out to Tap, man. I see you hit me in the Cash App earlier, man. I appreciate it, man. Put some gas in the truck for Truck Chronicles, bro. I appreciate you, man. Sarah in the building. How you doing, sis? What's good? What's good, Chi-Town? Who else we got in here? Who else we got? Just do love or what's good, man. If you want to talk that real boxing talk, me, I'm biased, you know what I'm saying? But if you want a totally unbiased opinion, make sure you check out Just Do Boxing. Hey, hit me up. I'm gonna hit you up. Do I see what you did? I see what you did. I already know what's going on. Boo Soldier, what's good, man? What's good with you? What's happening with you? What's happening with you, Playboy? Man, so I'm gonna play the video first, y'all. If y'all don't bear with me, right? If y'all will bear with me now, I'm gonna set the stage a little bit. I don't want to give you guys too much information because I want you to make your own opinions. I want you to come to your own conclusions on this. Now, I want to explain to y'all, to me, my personal opinion in this society we live in. Society is organized, right? It's organization. Whenever something organized, that's mean it's ran, right? That means it's a system. That means it's ran by certain people, right? By certain entities or organizations, however y'all want to call it. Everything that goes on with people is intentional. That's what I wanted to name this live, but BZ, what's good, my boy? It's like that's what I wanted to name this live, but most people would have probably thought I was being obtuse or rude. But this shocked me when I seen it. Y'all know what it is. Hit the like button, share the video, like the video. $sign at R Dubs over there. For the Cash App, we over at R_Dubs on Instagram. We at R Dubs on Twitch. And R Dubs on TikTok now. Everything's intentional. And we've got past the point of some things that, people who we don't need to name put us through. Hey, Diana, why you don't have a wrench? What is that about? Hey, sis, I got that fixed for you. Thank you so much for coming through. Some things we go through, and I'm gonna tie this into y'all. I'm gonna tie this in for y'all, not into y'all, but for y'all. Right now, I'm gonna play the video. Please watch this with an open mind, guys. I'm not trying to offend nobody. Please just watch this with an open mind.
The work of Dr. John Calhoun at the National Institute of Health in Washington, D.C. has attempted to answer this question. In a unique experiment that took years to complete, Dr. Calhoun used white mice to study population growth and its effects on individual behavior. In addition to his renowned research papers, he has recorded some of these observations on film. In this 16-cell mouse habitat, utopian conditions of nutrition, comfort, and housing were provided for a potential population of over 3,000 mice.
When I talk to y'all a lot about obstacles, right? About people having to overcome stuff, how it builds character, right? You guys hear the stories all the time if you're into your Bible, right? If you're into religion, if you're into that thing, how humans have a way, or animals have a way. I ain't gonna say humans, right? I'm gonna say animals have a way of not relating well to the ideal conditions, right? So keep that in mind.
Yet, in spite of ideal conditions, the mouse population met with catastrophe. Individuals were kept track of by color markings on their fur. Factors which normally control population growth,
Yes, IBR.
such as predation by owls or cats, were eliminated. Transmissible disease was also reduced. In effect, the mouse universe simulated the present situation of a continually expanding population of humans. To see how Dr. Calhoun's mouse universe grew, we'll use the familiar population graph again. Within the first 100 days, the mice went through the period Dr. Calhoun called strive. This was a period of adjustment. Territories were established, and nests were made. The next period lasted about 250 days. The population of the mice doubled every 60 days. This was called the exploit period. The use of resources became unequal. Although each living unit was identical in structure and opportunities, more food and water was consumed in some areas. As the population increased.
Okay, what I want y'all to do is just take this part in. Just observe the video. It's a little bit lengthy, guys, but wait till we read the article I found. I want y'all to just take it in and make mental notes of the social changes. Right? No need to set it. No need to set a bias right now. Don't look at him as God or Satan and this. Hey, Tay, how you doing, beautiful? Right? I want y'all to just take the information in, right? Non-bias. Yeah, SL, ride with me. Everybody who's seen this before, ride with me. This is for the people who don't know, and watch how I tie it together.
Most mice associated eating and drinking with the presence of others, and crowding developed in certain units. The third period, consisting of 300 days, found the population of mice leveling off. This was called the equilibrium period.
Hey, Ash.
Dr. Calhoun noticed that the newer generations of young were inhibited, since most space was already socially defined.
Now listen. I appreciate you, Ash. How you doing, beautiful? Right? It said socially defined. It said that space was socially defined. You're a little late, Tay. It's gonna tie in. Just rock with me for a little bit. Just rock with me for a little bit, y'all. Socially defined. It didn't say space was limited. It said space was socially defined. Type 1 if y'all hear what I'm saying. It didn't say space was limited. It said space was already socially defined. Hit 1 if y'all with me. Okay, let's stay right there. Let's keep it going.
At this time, some unusual behavior became noticeable. Violence became prevalent. Excess males strived for acceptance, were rejected, and withdrew. Huddling together, they would exhibit brief flurries of violence among themselves.
Let me run that back real quick.
Huddling together, they would exhibit brief flurries of violence among themselves.
Let me run that back real quick.
And withdrew.
A little bit more.
For acceptance. Excess males strived for acceptance.
Excess males. The males that were left over and not chosen strived for acceptance.
Were rejected.
Were rejected.
And withdrew.
And withdrew. Sound familiar? If that sounds familiar, press 1. If that sounds familiar to you, press 1. Josh, what's good? Wait, hey, SLR, wait till I tie it together.
Huddling together, they would exhibit brief flurries of violence among themselves. The effects of violence became increasingly visible. Certain individuals became targets of repeated attack. These individuals would have badly chewed and scarred tails. Other young mice growing into adulthood exhibited an even different type of behavior. Dr. Calhoun called these individuals the beautiful ones. Their time was devoted solely to grooming, eating, and sleeping. They never involved themselves with others, engaged in sex, nor would they fight. All appeared as a beautiful exhibit of the species, with keen, alert eyes and a healthy, well-kept body. These mice, however, could not cope with unusual stimuli. Though they looked inquisitive, they were, in fact, very stupid.
Sound familiar? Does this sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Or am I reaching, as they like to say about Uncle Rick? Am I reaching, ladies and gentlemen?
Dr. Calhoun called the last period the die phase, leading the population into extinction. Although the mouse utopia could house 3,000, the population began to decline at 2,200. In the shift from the equilibrium to the die phase, each animal became less aware of associates, despite all animals being pushed closer together. Dr. Calhoun concluded that the mice could not effectively deal with the repeated contact of so many individuals. The evidence of violence increased to the point where most individuals had had their tails bitten to some degree. Eventually, the entire mouse population perished. Dr. Calhoun's experiment is a classic example of a typical population and its growth when left unchecked. Research in this area continues under his supervision. Currently, Dr. James Hill has taken the basics of the Calhoun experiment to study social behavior even more closely. In his experiments, rats are used instead of mice. Healthy individuals are selected to start the population.
Now, that's basically a recap of the same experiment with the same stimuli, just with a rat, guys. She, what's good, my boy? Where you been at, man? What's good with you? We been here, bro. Oh, Red, I see you, my guy. How you doing, man? What's good with you? Oh, my boy. Right? Okay. So let's reinforce, because I gave you guys the example. Now it's my job to reinforce it. Can you guys see that okay? What's good, Daryl? Hit the like button on your way in, man. Can you guys see that okay? Okay. I'm going to read this in its entirety because it's all relevant. The Universe 25 experiment. 25 being a representation of the 25th iteration of this experiment. Now, every experiment wasn't the same, but this is the one that yielded these results there and thereafter. Okay? As part of a social experiment, paradoxical conditions were created for the mouse population. Unlimited supplies of food and drink, the absence of predators and disease, sufficient space for reproduction. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Our women say they don't require any protection, right? The police are here. We live in a world where everyone's considerate. Everyone should consider everyone's feelings, right? There are no predators because that's what the cops is for. However, as a result, the entire colony of mice became extinct. Why did this happen? And what lessons should humanity learn from this? This is the box they had them in, as y'all saw in the video. American ethologist John Calhoun conducted a number of amazing experiments, in the 60s and 70s of the 20th century. D. Calhoun invariably chose rodents as experimental subjects, although the ultimate goal of research has always been to predict the future for human society. As a result of numerous experiments on rodent colonies, Calhoun formulated a new term, behavioral sink, which denotes the transition to destructive and deviant behavior. Listen, I'm going to say that again, which denotes the transition to destruction and deviant behavior in conditions of overpopulation and crowding. Have we lived in a more deviant time? I mean, if I can recall, and if I can use the examples that I was taught, the only time I've heard of that was more deviant is in the stories of the Bible, like Sodom and Gomorrah, Greece, things of that nature. With his research, John Calhoun gained some fame in the 60s, as many people in Western countries experiencing the post-war baby boom began to think about how overpopulation would affect public institutions and everyone in particular. He conducted his most famous experiment, which made an entire generation think about the future. In 1972, together with the National Institute of Mental Health. Mental health. What's the kick today, guys? What's the biggest crutch? What's on every single social media platform, news platform, TMZ? Is it not mental health? Is it not mental health? They don't care about your physical health no more. It's all about your mental health. Are you mentally stable? Everybody's got a mental condition. Everybody's this, everybody's that. Every kid has an IEP. Please remember, this was conducted in the 60s. Now, please note, guys, why these experiments and these things seem harmless, right? They do research for a reason. He conducted the most famous experiment, which made an entire generation think about the future. I read that already. Every week, the tank was clean and maintained in constant cleanliness. All necessary safety measures were taken. The appearance of predators in the tank or the occurrence of mass infections were included. Mass infections?
Did you hear what I said?
Didn't we just go through something with mass infections? Didn't we just go through something with mass infections where the government provided you with something saying that, hey, you don't have to worry about it, we'll take care of it? The science you knew for your entire life no longer applies today. Now, people will say, Ricky, how can you say that when it says the exclusion? It's about the stimuli. Hey, Truth Seeker. It's about the stimuli they present to you. This is chess, is not checkers. You have to present a problem before you can present a solution.
Did you hear what I said?
Their health status was constantly monitored. They're getting you used to it. Put this mask on. Have you been vaxxed? Hitting Gems, what's good? How you doing, boy? The system of providing food and water was so well thought out that 9,500 mice could simultaneously eat without experiencing any discomfort, and 6,144 mice could consume water without experiencing any problems. No worry, man. You always on time. That was more than enough space for the mice. The first problems of lack of shelter could arise only when the population reached more than 3,840 individuals. However, there have never been such a number of mice in the tank. The maximum population size was noted at the level of 22,000 mice. What they telling y'all right there? What they telling y'all right there? Let me explain to y'all. When I went to college, I got 100% on the English entry exam. I was the first person in the school to do it. If it's one thing I do is I understand what I read. Does anybody know what they just told you in that portion? Anyone? What they're saying is that they threaten you and they give you the stimuli that overpopulation will exist. We can set these conditions, but it'll never happen. They set the conditions for you to believe it's a problem, but it'll never happen. Nature has a way of controlling. Nature has its own safety measures. This is why death exists. This is why childbirth morality exists. It's a sad thing to talk about, but it's a fact. However, there have never been such a number of mice in the tank. Thank you, AP. The Lord provides. The Most High provides everything. I be who I be was good. Mother Earth will always provide enough. The experiment started from the moment of placing 4 pairs of healthy mice inside the tank, which took quite a bit of time to get used to, realize what kind of mouse fairy tale they were in, and began to multiply rapidly. Put them out in the world and see what happened. You check out your surroundings, you see what's good about it, what's bad about it. You don't believe it at first, but eventually you settle into it, right? She said facts. If you don't learn from life, life will teach you. Calhoun called the development period phase A. But from the moment of the birth of the first cubs, the second stage B began. This is the stage of exponential growth of the population in the tank under ideal conditions. The number of mice doubled every 55 days. Big Ray was good. Appreciate you. Starting from the 305th day of the experiment, the population growth rate slowed down significantly. I'm sorry. Now the number doubled every 45 days, which marked the entry into the third phase C, as in Charlie. At that moment, about 600 mice lived in the tank. A certain hierarchy and a certain social life were formed. There is physically less space than there was before. They give you a little picture of everybody in the pool. A category of outcasts appeared who were expelled to the center of the tank. They often became victims of aggression. It was possible to distinguish the group of outcasts by bitten tails, torn hair, and traces of blood on the body. The outcasts consisted primarily of young individuals who had not found a social role for themselves in the mouse hierarchy.
Did you hear what I said?
I relate this to men and women who can't find their place. Men and women who think a little differently, who move outside the box, people who are not socially accepted. Don't y'all see it every day around your town, at your job, in your family? Hmm? Don't you see it? After the explosions, the males broke down phys- psychologically. They spelled that wrong. Psychologically. Did they? I ain't sure. Psychologically, they showed less aggression, did not want to protect their pregnant females and perform any social roles. Although they periodically attacked each other's individuals from the society of outcasts or any other mice. I'll leave that one to y'all. Females preparing for the birth of cubs became more and more nervous as a result of the increase in passivity among males. Let me read that again for y'all. Females preparing for birth of cubs became more and more nervous as a result of the increase of passivity among males. They became less protected from accidental attacks. As a result, the females began to show aggression, often fighting, protecting their offspring.
Dom DeMarco.
However, the aggression was paradoxically not directed only at others. No less aggressiveness was manifested in relation to their children. Often, the female cured their young and moved to the upper nest, becoming aggressive hermits and refused to reproduce. As a result, the birth rate has fallen significantly and the mortality of young animals reached significant levels. Y'all are seeing this on the internet. Raven Yates, 31, still needs to go through processing in Alabama before law enforcement brings her back to Montgomery County to face charges. Detectives have been looking for Yates since December. Roman Forest Police Chief Stephen Carlisle said U.S. Marshals Task Force. You know what? Let's make it easy. Where's a video on it? Give me a video on it. Give me a video on that. I'm gonna wait till the ad finish to give y'all sound. 23 seconds. Shout out to y'all for coming through. Make sure y'all smash the like button, share the video, like the video, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know how we do it. Look how nice the house is, y'all. Can y'all hear? Is it sound? Is it sound? Hold up, y'all. Hold up, hold up. Oh, I know what I did. Hold up, y'all. I got you. No, the audio playing. Hold on. I know what I need you. I know what I need you to do. Hold on. I got you. Share. I want this one. I want to share. Bear with guys. I'm sorry. There we go. I got y'all. My bad. I'm gonna restart it. We got sound? I got y'all. I got y'all. Hold on. Still no sound? Hold on, y'all. I got you. I got you. I got you. Hold up, y'all. I got you. My bad. I got y'all. What's this chick name? Where's YouTube at? I can get it off YouTube real quick, y'all. Bear with. My bad, y'all. There we go. This how y'all get if y'all watching, this how you get the YouTube videos you want with this right here. 4K video downloader is free. I'm giving y'all lessons. It's 4K video downloader. We're gonna paste that link. Download it. Verify. We're gonna go get it. We're doing this all on the fly, ladies and gentlemen, all on the fly. We're gonna present video file.
Montgomery County mother accused of abandoning her two children was all smiles when she was
How's the
arrested
audio?
3
Can y'all hear him?
states away.
Yeah, kind of a bizarre photo there. Well, officers found Raven Yates in Alabama more than 2 months after she vanished.
ABC 13's Brianna Connor is getting new facts on her arrest. And Brianna, what's next for this woman?
Raven Yates still needs to be processed in Mobile, Alabama, before she's brought back here to Montgomery County to face the charges against her. Detectives working this case had been looking for Yates for about 3 months. I'm told law enforcement in Mobile had to break down the bedroom door of an older man's apartment to find her.
The popularity of it got a lot of people interested in it.
Raven Yates gained thousands of followers and has been trending on social media ever since she made headlines for accusations of abandonment. Roman Forest police say she left her 12-year-old daughter and 3-year-old son all alone for 2 months. Investigators say they had to fend for themselves with little food or medicine at this house on Maplewood Ridge Drive while Yates lived in Alabama.
I've never seen anything like that, and I've never seen anybody play into the camera and play into the social media as she has.
The entire time, Yates was posting provocative images like these online while fully aware there was a warrant out for her arrest. Roman Forest Police Chief Stephen Carlisle says tips poured in from the public, and that's what eventually led to her arrest in Mobile. This photo capturing Yates in cuffs and seemingly unbothered by the allegations that she put her own children in danger.
I think was playing for the camera. She wanted to have a smile. She wanted to look good.
Yates' 12-year-old is with her father, who lives out of state. Police say the child was afraid to tell her dad what was happening at first because she was worried she'd be separated from her brother, who has a different dad. At last check, Yates' other children were safe with relatives while she prepares.
So like I was saying, guys, look at the house. Look at the lawn. Does it look like this woman was hurting for anything? It looked like her conditions were optimal, wouldn't you say? From the outside looking in. Right? We preach so much about you're in the ghetto, and the ghetto is so much pressure, right? And when you in the hood, right, you gotta live it how you live it. You know what I'm saying? Look at that house. Does it look like she lives in a bad neighborhood that the pressures of the world are upon her?
To head back home now.
We're waiting for her to be extradited back to Montgomery County, and then, of course, we'll be able to interview her and find out her side of the story, and we'll go from there.
If convicted, she could spend 20 years behind bars and away from social media attention. In Montgomery County, I'm Brianna Connor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
I'll remove that. I'm done with that. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. What do I do with my article? Remove this, and we can do that back right there. Okay. So let's read it again. Females preparing for the birth of cubs became more and more nervous as a result of the increase in passivity among the males. They became less protected from accidental attacks. As a result, the females began to show aggression, often fighting, protecting the offspring. However, the aggression was paradoxically not directed only at others. No less aggressiveness was manifested in relation to their children. Often the females killed their young and moved to the upper nest, became aggressive hermits, and refused to reproduce. As a result, the birth rate has fallen significantly as the mortality of young animals has reached significant levels. Soon the last stage of existence of the mouse paradise began. Phase D, or the death phase, as John Calhoun called it. The symbol of this stage was the appearance of a new category of mice called the beautiful mice. The symbol of this stage was the appearance of a new category of mice called beautiful. These included males demonstrating uncharacteristic behavior for the species, refusing to fight and fight for females and territory, showing no desire to mate, and prone to a passive lifestyle.
Did you hear what I said?
Men don't argue anymore. Calm down. Watch your tone. We ain't got to fight for this, bruh. Fuck a bitch. Fuck these bitches. Spend more time getting dressed and looking good. All this time in the gym. Man's hair got to be perfect. He prettier than you, ladies. DS, what's good? The beautiful one only ate, drank, slept, and cleaned their skin. Ain't that what it's about? Oh, get a bag. Let's go on these trips. Let's look good. Let's go to the finest restaurants. Grape Hill, what's good? Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy, the Grape Hill Podcast. Let's go to these restaurants. Let's eat the best of the best. Let's do the best of the best, right? avoiding conflict and performing any social functions. They got this name because, unlike most of the other inhabitants of the tank, there were no traces of brutal battles, scars, and torn fur on their bodies. Their narcissism and self admiration became legendary. Hold up.
Did you hear what I said?
The researcher was also struck by the lack of desire among the beautiful to mate and reproduce. Among the last waves of birth in the tank, beautiful and single females who refused to reproduce and run away to the upper nest of the tank became the majority. So Jeff was good. The majority of the new population, the newer generation, the younger generation became the pompous, the beautiful. The endangered mice practice homosexuality, deviant and inexplicably aggressive behavior in conditions of excess of vital resources. That's right.
Long-rooted history in appropriation from Black culture. Like, for instance, like when I go to the Metropolitan Museum and I see things that they've taken from Africa, I see things that they've taken from Nubia, and then you go and you, yes, and then you go and you look at these pillars, and then there's this white man, Samuel something, 1800, going and saying, I'm putting my ownership on something that was never mine to begin with. And then they go, yeah, I discovered it. So then it gives me this ownership, like I can take it and it can be mine. And I feel like it's that entitlement that is one thing that we really need to discuss. Like there is a way I feel to very much so appreciate somebody's culture, but so many times, like Bob says, there are times where, you know, they cite the source, but they don't.
Come on now. So you have a group of men appropriating womanhood, talking about cultural appropriation? Are we serious? I've got to be in the Matrix right now. Somebody play Alanis Morissette. Isn't it ironic?
Cannibalism flourished. With the simultaneous abundance of food, the females refused to raise their cubs and killed them. Sound familiar? They refused to raise their cubs. The mice were rapidly dying out. On the 1780th day after the start of the experiments, the last inhabitant of the mouse paradise died. The most important part, anticipating such a catastrophe, D. Calhoun, with the help of his colleague D.H. Martin, conducted a number of experiments at the third stage of the death phase. Several small groups of mice were removed from the tank and relocated to equally ideal conditions, but also in conditions of minimal population and unlimited free space. No crowding or introspective aggression. In fact, the beautiful and single females were recreated the conditions under which the first pairs of mice in the tank multiplied exponentially and created a social structure. But to the surprise of scientists, the beautiful and single females did not change their behavior.
Did you hear what I said?
Still refused to mate, reproduce, or perform social functions related to reproduction. As a result, there were no new pregnancies, and the mice died of old age. I'm looking at y'all just like y'all looking at me. So to explain this part and to keep it simple for y'all, hey Peaches, when someone is socially conditioned so bad, you gotta let them go. There's no saving someone who doesn't want to be saved. There is no saving someone who does not exhibit the change themselves to make the appropriate corrections. We're all just animals after all. Similar identical results were observed in all the resettled groups. Similar identical results were observed in all resettled groups. All the experimental mice died while being in ideal conditions. John Calhoun created the theory of two deaths based on the results of the experiment. The first death is the death of the spirit. Shout out to Diana. When newborn individuals do not have a place in the social hierarchy of the mouse paradise, there was a lack of social roles and ideal conditions with unlimited resources. So even if you have everything, you can have all the money, you can have all the food, you can have all the clothing, you can have all the weather, you can have everything. But if you have no place, if you have nothing to fight for, if you cannot build your spirit, it doesn't matter. If you cannot build your heart, it doesn't matter. This is why building character is so important. This is why, as much as it may hurt, and as much as you might not like it, and as much as you feel that it's a detriment, pain builds you. Hard times maketh the great man. A man or woman who goes through nothing will be nothing. And we're seeing it in massive numbers. All of our teenagers are working the schools, guys. I'm telling you, these kids 18 on down, they're lost. They walk around the school like zombies. No light in their eyes. None. Heads down. Don't even look up when you speak to them. There was a lack of social roles and ideal conditions with unlimited resources. There was an open confrontation between adults and young rodents. The level of unmotivated aggression increased. The best example I can put for you is this now, how these young kids, they cuss like they grown. No respect for adults, no respect for the older generation, none whatsoever. None. 9-year-old kids cussing like they 50. In an ideal world in safety, when the abundance of food and water and the absence of predators, most individuals only ate, drank, slept, and took care of themselves. A mouse is a simple animal. It's the most complex behavioral models are the process of courting a female, breeding and caring for offspring, protecting the territory and cubs, participating in I'm frustrated right now. And hierarchical social groups. Let me slow down because I'm getting frustrated. The psychologically broken mice refuse all of the above. Calhoun calls this rejection of complex behavioral patterns the first death, or the death of the spirit. After the onset of the first death, physical death, the second death in Calhoun's terminology, is inevitable and is a matter of short time. As a result of the first death of a significant part of the population, the entire colony is doomed to extinction, even in the conditions of paradise. Once Calhoun was asked about the reason for the appearance of a group of rodents, beautiful, Calhoun drew a direct analogy with the person, explaining that the key features of a person, his natural destiny, is to live in conditions of pressure, tension, and stress. He drew a direct analogy with the person, explaining that the key feature of a person, his natural destiny, is to live in conditions of pressure, tension, and stress. Diamonds are made under pressure. The best people you know were made under pressure. The wisest people you know went through something. The most understanding people you know went through something. The mice who refused to fight, who chose the unbearable lightness of being, turned into autistic, look at that word, autistic beauties, capable only of the most primitive functions, eating and sleeping. Let's party, let's drink, let's eat. The beauties refused everything complex and demanding tension, and in principle became incapable of such strong, complex behavior. You guys ever see somebody freeze up in a fight, a car accident? You ever see somebody just freeze up? Like the stimuli is so great they can't do nothing with it? How many children have you heard of nowadays that have anxiety issues? How many children and young people tell you, I can't be around a lot of people? And let me say this, a lot of people who read this, if you guys do your research on this, read it, other scientists, other experiments, try to debunk this situation, saying because it was because of the lack of space. Where does everybody live?
Did you hear what I said?
Y'all do it all the time. Dallas in the building, Chi-Town, Houston, NYC, the Bay, LA. The cities are just bigger versions of this, guys. It's bigger versions of the experiments, of the projects. Ask most people who don't live in big cities. They'll tell you they have none of the stressors that you guys have as far as population, crime, and interpersonal relationships that the urban areas do. And it's the convenience, Shawallah. Shout out to you.
Did you hear what I said?
Everything's at your fingertips. You don't even have to go shopping anymore. You can call DoorDash or Walmart and they'll deliver your food right to your door. You want some Cat's Deli, you can get that through DoorDash. You ain't got to go to New York. Everything's convenience now. Convenience, 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 right? Everything at your fingertips. What you want? We got it. We got it. 88, what's good? What's good, Jeff? Calhoun draws parallels with many modern men, capable only of the most routine, everyday actions to maintain a physiological life, but with an already dead spirit, deceased, dead, whatever you want to call it. What is expressed in the loss of creativity, listen to the words, what is expressed in the loss of creativity. Creativity. the ability to overcome, and most importantly, to be under pressure. Refusal to accept numerous challenges, escape from tension, from a life full of struggle and overcoming is the first death in Jao Kahu's terminology, or the death of the spirit, followed inevitably by a second death, this time the body. When you stop fighting for something, when you have nothing to fight for, death is on the way. Death is on the way. That's why most people pass after their mate died. That's why most people die. The number one killer of people in America is retirement. Is retirement. Perhaps you still have a question. Why was D. Calhoun experiment called Universe 25? This was the 25th attempt of the scientists to create a paradise for mice, and all the previous ones ended in the death of all experimental rodents. This is at Pictolic, Pictolic.com. You can do a search for Google and just do a search for Universe 25 experiment. Pictolic, it'll pull up. Whew. So, in closing, pretty dreadful stuff, if I must say myself. But what I want to give your attention to is one that now you know. Knowing is half the battle. And two, who put these conditions in place? Do you guys think this stuff is happenstance? Appreciate you, Diana. You said many blessings to you and yours, Ricky. You're ministering tonight. I'm just showing you what I know. I'm just showing you what I know. I have a great understanding. This is self-inflicted, Big Ray, or were the conditions made optimal for this to happen?
Did you hear what I said?
You are just an animal after all. I understand we seem more complicated than others because we can relate to each other and we can communicate and have an understanding between men and women, but we're all just animals after all. Now, I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. What you believe is what you believe, right? But what I'm saying is, as I always do, I'll drop it on the ground. If you want to pick it up, by all means. If not, that's cool too. What I'm saying is open y'all eyes and understand there's things at hand. What's good, Key? Hey, Key, I'm about to go live after this too. I got Undisputed. I'm going to show y'all what it looked like. I'm going to do a quick live for my boxing folks. I'm going to do an Undisputed live after this to show y'all what it looked like on a computer at work. Right? I ain't trying to change nobody's mind. I'm just trying to give y'all the information in the way I see it. Completely up to y'all. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I'm about to kill this. If y'all want to hang around and check out this Undisputed live, by all means, I'll do that probably for an hour. And y'all kick it. I just wanted to show y'all what I saw. And leave comments at the bottom, y'all. I really like reading the comments of the video. You know what I'm saying? Please leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you think this will be useful or somebody else will vibe with it, please share the content. I'm a little bit away from 3K, so if I could hit 3K, that would be awesome. And again, thank y'all for y'all time. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Y'all know who it is.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
And I'm gone. See y'all later.